Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of RRA Network and WASSAN, I warmly welcome all of you for the today's webinar on seed system for climate resilient agriculture in rainfed areas. So we are pleased to see the diverse participants from the so many institutions and organizations of the community. And thank you everyone for taking the time for this important discussion and joining us today. So we are making this webinar as a part of International Seed Day. Actually, it was on 26th April because of holiday. We have made it on this day. So we are doing on this day. On this important occasion, we came together to recognize the vital role that seeds plays in sustainable agriculture, and then ensuring the food security, and then preserving the diversity of agro-biodiversity. We know that the seeds are just not the input for the farming; they are the carriers of the culture, are the tradition, and then resilience. So many farmers are conserving the traditional varieties from the past, and they are nurturing it, which are adapted to the local conditions. With this objective, the main objective of today's webinar is like bringing together the policymakers, researchers, and academicians and the community people to come together and share their insights and experiences on the seed system. So we hope this platform will enable the important, meaningful discussion and help us to collectively think about the community managed seed system. And I would like to welcome all the speakers. First is Dr. Rajendra Prasad sir. He's a former Vice-Chancellor of University of Agriculture Science. And then Dr. Varaprasad sir is a former Director of ICAR, Indian Institute of Oilseed Research. P.L. Patil sir, Vice-Chancellor of US Dharwad. And then Sunil Archak, NBPGR. And then Soumik Banerjee sir, he's a independent researcher and practitioner of agroecology and then Bhairab Saini is an individual seed savior. So with this, I would like to hand over to Dr. Sabya Sachidas.
So thank you very much for all of you to join, and particularly the panelists who have been probably the guiding force for the RRA network, and particularly our seed working group, and continuing to this agenda for now this is a kind of a decade that we have been, and the network have been on the traditional seeds as an agenda for the rainfed areas, which can bring a lot of resilience and also a lot of value to the nutrition as well. Not only productivity, but also this resilience as well as the nutrition part of it. And many of you have been supporting our team, which is a working group of seed system. Thank you very much for that. I think it will be a great occasion for all who have joined, because many times you cannot cannot actually have a lot of people who are interested on the seed traditional seed agenda can have an opportunity to interact with all the experts that we have today as a panelist. So this is an opportunity. I would also request all the panelists to have a more conversation with the participant today. Many of them will have a interest to speak to you more once you cover your part. But it will be great that if we can actually have around 45 minutes for an interaction, because a lot of civil society organization members, they have joined it, and I request Varaprasad Saab to take it forward and in a more participative way. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Sabyaji. Thank you, WASSAN and RRA for this important initiative, where the International Seed Day, and we are connected to seed. And this is very apt and then we are connected to community seed. That's why it's more apt. And a large number of persons, about 115, have joined so far. My request is all the persons who are not speaking may mute themselves. Like, for example, now we are getting some disturbance from Ram Gulal Sinhaji. Ram Gulal Sinhaji, just please mute yourself. And then all those, Jayant Padari, please mute yourself. All those not speaking, kindly mute so that you can hear the speakers very well. So then I also very briefly introduce the agenda of today. And I hope you are able to see the agenda. This we have the speakers. A small change in the agenda, that is regarding the. Are you able to see the agenda?
Yes, sir.
But it is not fully. Entire page is not visible.
Oh, okay.
It has started becoming, yeah.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So there is a small change in this agenda. Our Honorable Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Patil Saab, has some engagement at around 3:30. So we have shifted him to as a first speaker instead of Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Rest will remain the same. So after Patil Saab, it will be Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Then I will be speaking, Dr. Sunil Archak. Then we have the Mr. Soumik Banerjee and Bhairab Saini from the West Bengal. And then we will have a open platform for all the participants for discussion. But I suggest after each speaker, at least we will allow one or two key questions which cannot wait for further speakers. And at the same time, all of us will restrict it to 15 minutes. We'll be just looking at so that more time for open session is available. And at the right time, we will be closing also. Both are important. So thank you very much. With this brief introduction, we have some questions for each panelist who are presenting, but those questions will take it up only in the open session, so that those are the questions which will be useful for all the participating people. So thank you. With this, I request Patil Saab to, if you have Leela, Dr. Saab's presentation, or if he is speaking, that it's your turn.
Sir, I'm Dr. Shashidhar from US Dharwad, Special Officer Seeds.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, the Vice-Chancellor has not yet come, so he's engaged with some other work. So he will come a little bit late, sir. Let Rajendra Prasad, sir, can start the session now, sir.
Okay. That's
so
fine.
In fact, Vice-Chancellor has asked me to present on behalf of him. So I will present in a later stages, sir. First, let them finish.
Okay, right. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Current seed system in India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, a well-known seed man in India, director of Indian Institute on Seeds from ICAR Institute, and also a former Vice-Chancellor of US Bangalore, and currently helping the Raita Sadhikar Samstha also to put the seed agenda into the system. And he is well sought after person on seed across not only Asia Pacific and beyond also. Thank you, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, for accepting. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. All the respected panelists and also the participants. Actually, I'm very happy today. I could see 118 members. I never thought that so many people will be there. So thank you. First of all, congratulations to the RRA Network and also WASSAN organizing this program, because many people are not aware of the International Seed Day. In fact, I wanted to organize a National Seed Day. I'll tell you later why it was turned down and not important. If you say a few things about the International Day, this is main objectives to create the awareness about the importance of seed in agriculture, biodiversity, and also the food security. See, always I say food security, for food security, seed is the prerequisite. Seed security is the prerequisite. So that is how. And we have analyzed the data, it is positively correlated. So again, there is one more word on the International Day. They say seed play a vital role in sustaining the life on the earth. That is the one word I would like to say. So it emphasizes the need to preserve the seed diversity, support farmers' rights, and also to address the threats posed by the climate change and industrial farmings. So these are all the main, but I wanted to just in 1 minute, history, how it was, genesis. Actually, on April 26th, there was a, chosen to commemorate the, signing of Order 981 by Paul Bremer. He was an administrator of the Coalition Provisions Authority in Iraq. So, which significantly altered the agriculture practices in the country. That was the background why it was. So, keeping this, I also tried to have the National Seed Day on the October 1st. It is the also the World Food Day. So why it was, not I've chosen that date, because after the formulation of this All India Coordinated Research Project, the first varieties are released on the 1st October. So after 1966. So that was the things which I wanted to, and I submitted a proposal to the ICAR, and ICAR has submitted to DSC. Somehow it was not materialized. So anyhow, thank you very much. And I'll go to my presentations, current seed scenario, seed system in the country. I think most of you are aware. Leelaji, can you put my presentation? Share my presentation?
Sure.
Yeah. So here, probably you are all aware how the system, what are the current system exist in the country as far as the seed is concerned. And we have just you put my this presentation. Yes, you make a bigger one. Can I do this one? Okay. Next. Can I operate myself, Vivaji? Yeah. Next, go to the next slide.
Yes, sir. Next slide.
No, it's not moving. Yeah. So why the importance of the seeds is it is subjected to business. Anybody who wanted to do, they can do the trade. And it is subjected to policy focusing on the private, that is intellectual properties, community, that is a traditional knowledge, and also the biological diversity rights. So it is not only just a planting material, it carries a lot of genetic informations, able to increase our output, reduce the risk, that is the one, and totally transform the farming system in the country. So I think you have to keep changing, Leelaji. So here I wanted to just put one challenges how this agro biodiversity is linked with the evolution of the crop varieties. All of you know how this one, but this is a dynamic process going on. How our natural resources, efforts of the farmers are converted into a improved varieties, and as a result, we could able to achieve the food security. At the same time, still a lot of our genetic resources are available in terms of land races, local varieties. How we should take it forward, make it available to the farming community is one of the challenges which you have to face, and also we have to take it as a challenge and take it forward. So next was just I wanted to give the what based on this. Just to go to the next one. Keep changing, yeah. So this is just for the information of all the audience. Just I would like to give. After that, challenges. These are all the number of varieties have been evolved and released for the multiplication enter into the seed chain. Still, a lot of our land races, the farmers' varieties are there. Our challenge is to bring them into the normal seed chain, and that should be made available to the farming community. Next one, please. So here, just I wanted to give an history how the policy has really helped us to increase our seed productions, starting from the essential commodity seed acts. Because why I'm giving the background, some of the participants should know how the efforts has been made by the government to give the seeds to the farming community at the reasonable prices. So these are all the events took place. As a result, today, probably you are all seeing the seed bill, the draft still discussion. Now, I think it is in the final stage. There are a lot of provisions have been made in the seed bill, which is helping our industry farmers to produce a sufficient quantity of seeds, quality seeds, which is the one of the prime importance for the food security as well as the nutritional security one. Next. So next. Yeah, we also analyzed our institute, earlier the institute has analyzed how the seed production trends in the India, what is the requirement, availability, and who is contributing more. If you look at the earlier days, even before 2012, our public sector was dominating, and most of the, our public varieties were supplied, especially the cereals have been supplied by our public sector. Later on, the private sector has taken over, and today, if you look at the share of the total production, almost 30-35% is only the public sector, and the private sector is almost 70+%. Here, if you look at the cereals, because earlier the cereals public sector was taking the load, but now the private sector, in terms of developing the hybrids, even among the cereals, have come up and made the seed, because they were only concentrating on the high value seeds and low volume seeds. But now the private has done a wonderful job and contributing for the seed supply. Next one. If you go to the next one. Yeah, just one of the important aspect when you say seeds, there are two things is important. One is the seed replacement rate and the varietal replacement rate. So if you look at the seed replacement rate, I think now most of the crops have crossed more than 60%, and only few crops in case of oil seeds and the pulses, it is less than around 40%. If you look at the varietal replacement rates, it is less than 5-year-olds. Of course, here also made a big dent and increased the varietal replacement. This was one of the reasons why our production has been increased to the level of almost 348 million tons today. Next one, please. So how seed security ensure the food security? This is the question. So here, as I mentioned, it is going to have the protection and conservation of the biodiversity and robust seed production and supply system. Actually, India is one of the vibrant seed system in the world in terms of quality assurance, productions, and also supply chains. And we have the policies to do this. We have the sound national and regional policies, and as a result, we can make available the quality seeds timely. And two important thing is the affordable prices. This is more important from the point of consumer, that is a farmer point of view, than efficient distributions. So next, if you look at the why action on dry land, that is rainfed area seed system is needed. If you look at when the variety is released, the claim or their potentiality is something different. When it actually growing and we are go to the field, we are not expecting or getting what is the potentiality of the varieties of the different crops. Then when they make the analysis, the major contribution is the seeds. So we must make the to fill this gap, that's yield gap, we have to supply the quality seed. It's going to increase to the tune of 10 to 15% as a quality seeds alone. And by utilizing the other resources, even you can go to up to 30 to 40% increase in the yield. So therefore, especially under the dryland ecosystem. Therefore, our aim is to supply the quality seeds timely. Next one. So what are the types of present system in the country? We have the formal seed system, informal seed system, and integrated both. Go to the next one. When you say formal seed system, what is our contributions in the formal and the Indian sectors? So again, the survey was made by our, National Institute of Seed Science and Technology. So now it is the informal is about 37.1%. Earlier, it was almost more than 60%. So the formal system was about 62%. If you look at the, again, the informal, still we have about 37.1%. Among the formal system, the private sector also equally contributing to the tune of 30% and government about 33%. So this is the status of the contribution under the different system of seed. Next one. So this is just I given the what are the highlights of the formal and the informal system, how it works in the system. Of course, if you go to the formal or the informal system, the major stakeholder is the farmers only. You go to the private sector, go to the public sector, go to the anything. Ultimately, the final producer of the seeds is farmers. But only thing is in the formal system, there will be a active seed chain is there. There are agency which is going to monitor the quality, and there are agency who is going to produce the things. And so like that, there is a systematic, the procedures are there. Whereas in informal system, the farmers have adapted their own system, but still it is working well because you see some of the farmers are really doing the informal seed system as a formal system. So if you look at the stakeholders, here also both the public sector, private sectors, both are involved in both the system. Next one. So this is the one seed production supply chain system. This most of you have seen this one. When I was a director, we also introduced our National Institute of Seed Science and Technology. What is its soul? If you understand this, seed supply system in India, I think it speaks about the formal seed system and how the seeds originate, that is from the breeder seeds, how it is being produced by different agencies like, the foundation seeds, certified seeds, and even truthfully labeled seeds, and how move to the farmers. To support this formal seed system, we have a different agency, seed producing agency, maybe corporations, maybe state seed corporation, national seed corporation, universities, and other cooperative organizations, including the ICAR institutes and FPOs, farmers producer organizations. Now, based on the commodity, they started producing the organic seeds and also some of the traditional varieties. They started producing the seeds formally. So then the private sector, more than 550 private sectors are involved here. To ensure the quality of the seeds, we have the state seed certification agency and around 131, 91 notified seed testing laboratories. Of course, in one of the slide I mentioned what should be the need of the hour as far as the seed testing laboratories are concerned. So this is the totally how the formal system works. Next one, please. So in case of informal system, you see this is activities, integrated and locally organized with the farmers themselves to produce the seeds. Here even today, I have seen many people are producing and farmers are buying because they have developed the trust among the farmers as far as the quality is concerned. Because instead of going to far off places, locally they are taking the seeds and producing and getting the same kind of seeds as far as the informal seed system also. Here maybe some land races, mixed races may be there, maybe heterogeneous. Here the in terms of purity, they are guided by the local technical knowledge, standards, and of course we need to have some kind of standards and the social structures and the norms. So here, under this system, we are, as I mentioned, about 37. I mentioned it's a 40% requirement is met by these, organizations, informal seed system, because of the reason is they are getting low prices, adaptability, and timely. You see, seed is the one. If you get the seeds timely, the farmers' work almost 25% is almost done. So that is the kind of power our seed is having. Go to the next one. So of course there are some limitations which because we cannot actually go behind the geographical area, and also some cultural barriers are there. Integrity and genetic purity is also sometimes may not be assured. So these are all some of the limitation. Even then there is a limitation still. We wanted to make this informal seeding system as a formal seed system. Next one. So another approach, the third group we have in the country is integrated supply seed system. Here, to supply the new varieties and the seeds to the farmers, combining both the formal and informal, including the local seed supply system. So in one of our ICAR seed project, this was the agenda before, because so many times the varieties have been released. To make it available to the farmers, it takes almost 2 years because it has to go to the chain and other things. So we started give these farm seeds, the new fresh varieties to the farmers before notification, see that it should be produced and made available to the farmers. So it is not only restricted to the seeds of new variety, we also focused on the local varieties and the traditional varieties, because these varieties are really performing well in the particular locations, but they are finding difficulty to get those seed materials. Under this, can we have this integrated program, seed supply system, and develop and make them into available in the regular system? So these are all the system. And actually this informal seed system, as you all know, that's community gene bank, farmers seed house, farmers hat, seed health centers. There are so many organizations having this system. Still they are catering the needs of the farmers. Then again, go to the women and men farmers who run the community seed bank, major crops, minor crops, even some of the neglected and underutilized species. So in the small quantity. Next, man. I'll go a little bit fast because the time is ready.
Yeah. Another 2 minutes, sir.
Yeah. So this is community. Just you can go ahead.
Thank you.
Because the most of you are aware, and the next speaker will speak. Next. So these are all the agency linked in the above farmers participatory seed production seed system, what we are existing in the country today. All the people, and basically farmer is the one who is connected to all this community and producing the seeds. Go to the next. Next one. Yeah, what are the national program on informal seed sector? This is the initiative done by because realizing the importance of the seeds, they have realized and focused on improving the quality of the farmer seeds. So we have to analyze what is the lapses and how we can improve. That is why the started the seed village program and so many seed gene banks and the construction of so many gardens like that they found. Then institutional support also, they given some kind of beneficiary like initial funding for infrastructure building, and also harmonization of the existing strength of the formal and informal integration per se. Then most important one was the capacity building as far as the seed productions is concerned. Not only capacity building, they also started entrepreneurship, seed entrepreneurship development. Then informal seed sector also, here the quality declared seed system. So this mixed approach and consortia models. This is one thing. Here we wanted to involve the different agencies, maybe certification agency, maybe corporation who can sell them seeds, and the packaging industry. So all those industries can be bring together and they will get the supports for this informal seed sector. Then of course community seed system, FPOs. Now I've seen in Karnataka also many FEOs are doing a wonderful job in terms of gathering the seeds. Then seed standards as per the requisite of the formal seed system. This is the one I think we have to focus and have the standards and also SOPs. Next one. Next. So actually there was some question in this one, sir. These are all the questions which raised. Just I noted down. Issues need to be addressed. See what is happening in the formal, the regular seed system. There is some varieties are not performing as per their claims. So because it needs maintenance breeding, that is should be effectively implemented from all the agencies, whether it's a private or the public sector, and follow up this generation system. Because if you look at the conversion of the breeder seeds into a foundation seeds and certified, it's slightly it is improving now. Again, I was saying 191 STLs are there, but these STLs should be monitored with effective functioning, because sometimes there is a power problem and the results which we generate from this one may be vary. In that case, we need to this one. It is another private cross-functioning team is present in private, which needs to be associated with the public. We always say is public-private partnership. In every aspect, we need to have this. So that way, this relationship, the consortium mode or whatever it may be, need to be established. Then seed standards for the traditional varieties, organic seeds need to be standardized. Another thing, you see, some cases the seeds availability because of the certification process is getting delayed, because the season starts, still the people starting, giving the certifications or process is on. In that cases, can we think of using the molecular tools for seed certifications for some of the, parameters for the quick issue of the certificates? So next one, sir. So another question is how we can access the quality seeds to the, of TV seeds, that is traditional varieties. Here, the first and foremost is create awareness about our traditional varieties with their traits, values in terms of nutrition, in terms of medicinal values among small and the marginal farmers and also the consumers. Automatically, the demand for this will be increasing. Of course, I mentioned the field and seed standards, SOPs for the production. And again, there are a lot of people, today the economic status of the farmers are increasing. So that way, the demand for the nutri-rich foods are getting, familiar with these people. So in that case, we need to, highlight this and identify the farmers who are familiar with these varieties with the location spine and give them a training, and also involve them in the productions. Not only involve them, we have to involve the make our private seed outlets and also our public sector, that is KVKs, RSKs, FUOs, both public and private seed outlets, to keep our traditional varieties locally. So in this regard, I think WASSAN is doing a lot of efforts. I think September we are going to participate in the tender and put some of the traditional variety which are popular among the farmers can be find a place in these KVKs, RSKs. So this is one process I always believe, and KVKs also. So then government policy should be support. Incentives may be given to in the beginning for the traditional varieties promoters. So these are all some of the points which I feel under the current system. Go to the next, madam. I think this may be the last slide. Yeah, thank you. See, another thing, private seed sector also following the similar conditions, similar kind of the system, but they have the internal quality control assurance team, not only in the field, even in the lab at post-harvest. So that is the system they adopt. Again, they also support the seed producers in terms of inputs, in terms of, technical guidance timely. So these are all the things which they also adopt. Not much difference, but ultimately the farmers who do the job for both private and public sectors. So with this, I would like to thank for the opportunity. Of course, there are a lot of latest technologies are there. which we can build in the present system, like use of drones, use of artificial intelligence to know the off types, and drones can be used for the looking for the off types. So many options are there. Sensor based productions also we can do it. That we can deliberate later. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, for an excellent overview of the national. It's not easy in the time given to you. That is fine. And many people liked your presentation. And if there is one or two questions, we can entertain very quick questions. Otherwise, we will move to the next speaker, myself. And Leela,
I'll take it from here when I go back.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
I'll pay it 20. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, Sunil, you want to ask something? No. Yeah. Okay. So, Leela, please raise the hand when my time is over. I am right. Okay. I will look at your raising hand means my time is up. So I try to share my presentation. I will start unless because nobody has raised a hand or any question as of now to Dr. Rajendra Prasad. We will discuss anyway.
Yeah. I could see some chat box. They want.
Yeah, chat box. There are questions.
So we'll
which,
see.
What if they are relevant to you? You can answer in the chat box.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So we will. I will share my presentation. Is it visible?
Yes, not so far. Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Yes, visible.
Yeah.
Yes,
good.
Visible.
Yeah, okay. Is it now in the full form? Full slide?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I think, Leela, you should start counting down from now. Okay. For the time. Okay. So, this is traditional varieties. What is actually traditional variety? Why we actually prefer to use the traditional varieties more than other names? There are many other names for this, like you have the traditional farmer, ethnic, tribal, varieties of common knowledge, community varieties, ecotypes, land races, wild types, so many things are there. So everyone knows that they're ecologically suitable they are actually selected as per farmer or consumer or the animal needs. The crops are selected. Performance is often expressed only in the ecosystems where they are selected. The nature-based package of practices, that is natural farming, they perform better than others. And sometimes chemical input is negative. That means there are traditional varieties where you apply fertilizer, yield will get reduced instead of increasing. So the local biodiversity should be encouraged, and it is very much required. And any traditional variety or any variety for that matter, it is a product of the microbiome, ecology, and the genetics. So if we ignore the microbiome, then you are likely to miss a lot. So the farmer varieties are defined by the Plant Variety Authority, and by following a certain relaxed standards for DUS, distinctness, uniformity, and stability. So we don't want to call those as a traditional varieties because they have some ownership and some process. Land races are mostly defined by NBA, and others like ethnic varieties or ecotypes or wild types, they're narrow and specific. So broadly, we prefer to call traditional varieties of India as the subject of topic, and which excellent ideas were given by Dr. Rajendra Prasad in his previous. So if you see, just in brinjal itself, we have over 1,200 land races collected throughout the India. Chickpea land races, if you see the color variation, so much variability is there in many crops. Just as an example, I was showing these things. And if you see the different systems where traditional varieties are largely ignored, they are not part of 1966 Act, they are not part of Patent Act, and traditional varieties, farmers' rights are different, farmer varieties are different, but generically the traditional varieties are also recognized, not recognized, unless they satisfy the dust standards in PPFRA. And then you see the seed bill also, even the current seed bill also, traditional varieties are mentioned, but it is not yet taken place. So the current gap is traditional varieties do not have they are only informal seed system. There is no specific framework. And almost 57% of the traditional varieties in India are undocumented, unprotected. So we need to reform the proposals. We submit the proposals so that they get a right place in the Indian seed system. When you say seed, normally it is understood as a released varieties. So the released varieties, if you see, the market is very big. Globally, it has more than $76 billion. Then you have the Asia also $3.4 billion. And even in India, you have got a good, very good place for these $3.82 billion. And by the 2030, it will further increase. So what I would like to say is, all these figures and market potential, TVs have a minor and insignificant portion. And the vision is, after all these International Seed Day presentations and a lot of work done by WASSAN RRA and a huge number of conscious NGOs who are contributing to promote the traditional varieties, we hope they take a market space in this and their value is recognized in terms of the resilience, nutrient density. When I say resilience, both the climate and pest resilience and the nutrient density where we lack in India. Then we have the why traditional varieties need a space. If you look at that, it is we have to, it's a continuum, and the continuum of seed microbiome determines the One Health of all the organisms, including environment. So we have to enhance the diversity, and also we need, I don't want to read all things which are here, and I'm sure some of the participants are asking for sharing these presentations. I will be happy to share this. The organizers can share this presentation. And what are the mechanisms? We need a policy. We need a science-based evaluation. We have to integrate animals and trees, and we have to empower the communities, not necessarily through the Bureau of Indian Standards, but even otherwise, because many times they may get disadvantage for small community seed banks not being recognized. But that does not mean we should not follow the seed standards and quality standards that we need to ensure. And there are several champions are there. And it is time that instead of out of the 580 crops, we are investing a lot in 35 crops. Can we, and then released about 20,000 varieties in the formal seed system, but definitely more than 100,000 traditional varieties deserve attention across the several crops, which are many minor crops are also part of it. Then seed system, Dr. Rajendra Prasad very well explained, agri-food system and seed system are very well connected. It's not only the, how do we, there was a question in the chat box that how do we actually breed for farmers' varieties? High-yielding traditional varieties identification selection process is a matter of concern. No investment has been done. Sustainability, unless you club the traditional varieties cultivation with the package of practices, agroecological or natural farming, then there is absolutely not, it is very difficult to make headway. Then food systems are important. Environmental sustainability is also very important. All these are embedded in the seed of the traditional varieties. Then what are the key questions? The key questions are, we have the, just 1 second, give me 1 second. Yeah. So this, yeah, somebody has to mute. Please alert Leela. Then are they climate and pest resistant? Yes. Are these released varieties, they are mutually exclusive? No, they continue to exist. We are not against released varieties. We need to promote wherever possible the traditional varieties, but released varieties in the next 2 to 3 decades, they continue to exist, and we should be able to add only microbiome to it so that the locally seed production is encouraged. Then in the current canvas, which are the best fit TVs or RVs, selected traditional varieties can be brought into the natural farming. And then can TVs perform better than? Yes, in some cases, but we don't know. We need to do research. Can selected TV performs entire India? Some may be, mostly it is restricted to their ecosystem, or the ecosystem itself is changing. Where no floods are there, now there are floods. Where no drought is there, now drought is there. Where never hailstorms occur, now they are there. So we need to identify germplasm suitable to the parameter which we are looking at, and then we can actually make it to bring it to the other places also. Any evidence to invest in research on TVs? Yes, there is a lot of evidence that the TVs are better nutrition point of view, resilience point of view, adaptability point of view, preference point of view, organoleptic properties. There are a lot of scope is there. So that is why we need that we should promote. Similar questions are here. What is the impact on the farm income? It should improve. What is the global perspective on agroecology and TVs? We already crossed the 7th of the 9 planetary boundaries also, because the way we do agriculture with the released varieties, without chemicals, we cannot go. The herbicides, the weedicides, the pesticides. So we need to really find an alternative method. TVs and natural farming together form an excellent approach. This is generally accepted globally, even by CG Institute. How do we develop a seed system for TVs? WASSAN and RRA significantly contributed, both from the headquarters as well as from the Orissa. They have done a wonderful job, where you can see that the seed is sold in the local markets, land bases are cultivated, information is collected from them, and you also, the communities, FPOs, and the organizations, CBOs, district and level staff, all put together, you put a crop diversity block. Then participatory varietal trial, then the best varieties which are preferred taken forward, non-preferred varieties should go for conservation to NBPGR or local gene banks, and the preferred varieties should be notified and released as the best traditional variety through land race variety release committee, which Orissa has given standard operating procedures. This is mostly acceptable, and most of the state governments also can take it forward this way. And then we also believe that the Government of India Joint Secretary is also showing a lot of interest in taking this approach forward to mainstream the traditional varieties, and there is a system already developed. SOP's basis for released varieties, you have for farmers varieties, PPFRA, otherwise released varieties 1966 Seed Act as of now. Then in public domain, traditional varieties are there. Then Government of Odisha has given order that these SOPs can be followed all the crops, not only for finger millet. We have more than 20,000 released varieties, and very less are registered in the NGB, and we have a large number available, maybe not less than definitely 100,000 traditional varieties for taking it forward based on the area where we are working. And standards are very, very important, from DUS standards to the farmer preferred traits. Which are the traits preferred? Most of the times, it's not only the cultural importance, the organoleptic properties like the value and the taste are less given attention. But here in redefining the standards for traditional varieties, those which are ignored in the formal varieties, released varieties, can be paid attention in this case. Then if you want really diversity, we should not lose in the nature, not in the cold storage. In the nature, if you want, it's the pure line varieties which have the low resilience and high uniformity. But when we grow traditional varieties, it's a moderate variability and higher resilience. Is one of the reasons why we should take forward the released varieties. Leela has raised hand. Yeah, I will take only 1 or 2 minutes. And current legal frameworks are limited support is there. Market opportunities are less. FPOs are struggling to upscale the TVs. How we can give them both the public and fund support? There are some schemes, but they are still not on ground helping them. Ecosystem services can we pay? Then the One Health which I talked, then the soil, air and water quality are extremely important, which are actually a benefit package that comes with the agroecology and TVs. When they are used, your quality of life increases because of the soil, air, Panchabhuta. All the bhutas, the health will increase. Then we have the implementation. There are several challenges which we can discuss during this thing. And I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. These are the which are resilient seed systems. We have now enough evidences and systems in place. We need policy and funding to move forward. Thank you very much. I stop here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your insightful presentation.
Yeah, if there are any 1 or 2 questions, we'll take. Otherwise, we'll go to the next speaker. Yeah, my presentation will be definitely available. It can be shared. I think organizers from the RRA and WASSAN can take care. Any question, anybody raising hand or speak loud, because large number I cannot see raising hand for everybody. Yeah. Yes, if there are no questions from the audience, we will go to the next speaker.
There is one question. I think Geeta.
The next speaker is Dr. Sunil Archak. He will be speaking on role of institutions with regard to the seed systems for traditional varieties. Sunil Garu, over to you.
Thank you very much. Are my slides visible and am I audible clearly?
Yes, yes,
yes. Yes, please. All good.
Thank you. So first of all, thank you very much for making me part of this particular celebration of the International Seed Day. This is really fascinating when we come out and speak to people who are not in the academia in general. Otherwise, our interaction is usually with scientists and students. So thank you very much indeed. So as requested by the organizers, I'm going to speak on the role of institutions with regard to seed system for traditional varieties. And then when the previous speakers mentioned some of the very, very significant points, and the institutional part was, let's say, how it's important was intrinsic into that. So I'll just highlight that part. So before I start, there must be a basic agreement among all of us on some of these aspects. Number one, ex situ and on-farm conservation both are essential. One or the other is not an option at all. And then traditional varieties need not compete with modern cultivars. Dr. Varaprasad also mentioned. Both of them have space, and there is nothing called a traditional variety frozen in time. A traditional variety which was very well known in 1960, 1950, something. So it is frozen now. And the same traditional variety of the same thing which we want to eat 2026, it is not possible, because these are all evolving things. So we should please understand this. There is nothing called a frozen something. So things are, everything has a space on the plate in the market. And then we should not have any debate on we versus they. We versus they is we who are traditional variety lovers, conservers, farmers, community people. They means the government, seed industry kind of thing. No, such debates are useless. They will not add anything which is constructive to the purpose for which we have all assembled here. We must understand how we can make use of the positives of all the things and then go further. So that's the essence. And the last one is, let us not mislead ourselves by the exceptions. See, there are individuals who have done extraordinary work in the space of traditional varieties, their conservation, use, popularization, etc., everything. But they're individuals, please remember, which is why institutionalization is important. They're individuals, they're exceptional people. So exceptions cannot be examples. So how we can institutionalize some of these efforts is what is very, very important, which is lacking. So we have to convert these exceptions into some examples, some procedures, some normalized things. So this is what we will start with. Okay, quickly. So what are the roles of different institutions? So what are those activities where institutions can come in, chip in for the conservation and use of traditional variety? The first and foremost, and this is what is extremely important. I will use laser pointer. Yeah, here, I think one can see. Sorry. Anyway, so you can see my pointer here. The first and foremost is documentation. If we do not know what is available in which are those areas, which are those communities, and what is the temporal, that means from what time and what has happened. And please remember, it is not very easy to work with traditional varieties in India because we have multiple languages. So the documentation is very Herculean task. The same traditional variety will be called by different names in different adjacent areas. And then things have moved from one place to another place since time immemorial. It is not that something belonging to this village cluster is remaining here. No, it is not. Things have moved across. The number of DNA fingerprinting experiments have shown to us that things have moved across and then contributed to things in contributed genetic material to the development of varieties in different areas. So the documentation of current status is very, very important. And this documentation, as I mentioned, should be phonetic in nature, not just translate into English, something like that. No, it will not work. Clear phonetic, exact name, its meaning in the local language, and then somebody triangular method of verification, validation, and then updating. Majority of our efforts in the public sector have suffered because of the lack of proper documentation. So which is why all the projects start with some amount of documentation. So just imagine if we had some amount of documentation, basal documentation, proper documentation already available in public domain, which is verified and validated. So other projects will start from working onwards. And what is that? The second step? Second step is about evaluation. We, like the previous speakers mentioned about the specific traits, the organoleptic properties, their quality. So we have to define what is that quality. Taste, we have to define what is that taste, because these are personal choices. So, but there is still definition. One can define taste in its composition, in the amplitude of the composition, etc. So we have to generate these evidences. So institutions' role is very, very important in this. And then identify the traits. Once you identify the traits, it's like this. See, I think I will come to that kind of debate a little later, but it is very important to have one size fits all doesn't work in agriculture in general, and in traditional varieties very specifically, because all the pictures which Dr. Varaprasad showed or in global documents, anywhere documents, they all show only rice, wheat, millet kind of things, but it is not so. There are other crops. How do you maintain a maize? How do you maintain the purity of corn? In traditional varieties, it's very difficult. It's not easy at all. For a breeder, it is very difficult. And how do you do that for perennial crops? How do you do that for shrubs? So please don't, let us not limit ourselves to only few crops when we say traditional varieties. Traditional varieties become more and more important in case of shrubs, in case of trees, because we don't go into the market to buy Pusa Arunima or Arka Arunima kind of thing. We go to buy mangoes, which are even the old ones still now. So they're all very important. So this is also very important. So the third one is about the augmentation. When I say augmentation, augmentation in different facets. Let's say there are different regions, different seed banks, community seed banks are there. Seed banks are not there, but still farmers are there. Farmers are working together. And they know from their elders that so and so varieties where the traditional varieties were there in that area, but they don't have right now. So what they have to do, they have to approach National Gene Bank, where I am sitting right now. And if it is there here, they will get that. So the first part is augmentation from the existing sources. That means already we have, and they know that it was there in their area earlier, and now it is here, so they should get it. Now, what is the second type of augmentation? Second type of augmentation is not restricting oneself to what was there earlier in that area. Because areas have changed, the climate has changed, things have changed, everything has changed. The taste, demand, things are changing a lot. So whether the traditional varieties which are part of the other areas can now fit into your system. That means get from other sources. Get from other sources from within India. And is it possible to get something which are traditionally cultivated for a long time from other countries? Why not? Why do you fix? This is my question to all the people. Traditional varieties, does it mean that something which is originated here in India on the Indian soil and in some specific time period, or something which describes its mode of maintenance and then how the involvement of farmers or the communities in that? So if so, if it is interested, if it is interesting, if it is useful, augment things from outside. And there is historical evidence that how things have happened. So if there are questions, I'll answer that. The last one is about capacity building. Now, without demand, see, there must be a market demand. The conservation by use is the best policy of conservation. If there is no demand, and then there is, how do you ensure that the entire system works? Because there is a demand. Because there is a demand, there is a production of grain, commodity, and then because of that, there is a seed supply. You conserve your seed system, farmers, informal, everything is there. So you have to create a demand. So when you create a demand and all these things are there in place, that means people are changing. See, the same set of people will not be there. New young people will keep coming into the system. So everybody requires training, capacity building, refresher courses in various activities of this entire system. That means from conservation in simple conservation techniques in the seed gene banks, seed banks, okay, community seed banks, purity, maintenance of purity, selection. How do you ensure these new simple kits, technologies can be used, and then hand-holding for various other purposes. Hand-holding, when I say, let us say in your community seed bank or a specific seed cluster, you have found out that the specific particular one is very, let's say potential, having very high potential, promising. So it is in fact out-yielding, outperforming the best, let's say released varieties, modern varieties. So how do you protect that? How do you protect your interests? So what do we do with that? And how do you get a brand for your things? So in such activities, you need hand-holding. So institutions must be helping you. So the institutions must come in some of these different areas, such as documentation, evaluation, infusing more material, capacity building, and other things. Okay. I think some of the questions and some points always raised to what are the benefits or how do we get benefits or kind of things. So in such cases, I'll come to that little later. On the left, I have mentioned different institutions. We have an institution which such institution is not present in anywhere in the world. Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority, or this kind of a legal provision, doesn't exist anywhere in the world. So this recognizes and awards farmers who are conserving. And when I say conserving, it is obviously the ones which are traditional cultivars, traditional setup. And they also register farmers' varieties. So see, my forefathers have been conserving, but I have studied agriculture and I have gone back and I'm doing this one, maintaining, conserving, cultivating. But I have a very quick eye, I have a good eye, and I know that something should be selected from this. And I have selected and have made something new. Then I should, as a member of this community, should be able to register my variety. So this provision is there. All of you perhaps know about this. So PPFRA provides institutional support for registering farmers' varieties, giving equal authority, equal opportunity as much as given to breeders. Then benefit sharing from gene fund. So let's say if I am a breeder from PUSA or some other institution, and I'm making use of the traditional varieties known, and I am mentioning that one in my document. I have used this traditional variety as my parent from this location. I have accessed and I have used this, and this is my new variety. And this I have registered with the PPFRA, and I have commercialized, and I'm earning a lot of money. There is already an existing provision as to how I should be able to share the benefits with the source from where I have accessed. So that is also available. So that is PPFRA in very brief. And the National Biodiversity Authority, which is located in Chennai, is the PPFRA is an authority which is equivalent to patent authority, basically, but it also does some other work. National Biodiversity Authority is a regulatory authority that it says yes or no to accessing material. And if you access, what you should do. Or if you have not taken permission, and if you still access, what penal provisions are there. So that kind of authority it is. So what it does is, it provides, for example, I am a private entity from other country, and I want to come to India and access some traditional varieties from some of these spaces and then develop better ones. And then what it does is it gives an opportunity to ensure that the organoleptic taste and other kinds of things from this, and then high yielding from others. Don't worry about whether we agree to this or not in philosophy. And then I want to, let's say, release as a variety here in India. Now, whether one can do or not, yes, one can do, because based on rules. So who does that? Who regulates that? The NBA regulates that on access and benefit sharing part of that. As far as National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources is concerned, it's a gene bank. It's an institution built around a gene bank, National Gene Bank. Our major activity is conservation. And then we also supply, and we supply on demand. Why I'm stressing this on demand is because you have to demand. The farmers from different places who are into conservation and then working on your own or with the seed banks, then one can say that, look, these A, B, C, and D cultivars, traditional cultivars, were available in our area. Today they are not available. Are they available with the gene bank? And I say that yes, they are available. Then can I get them? Then you will get them. So you will get only upon demand. Even baby doesn't get milk without demand. So people should demand. The farmer should demand. So you will get the material from the gene bank. Then capacity building. As I mentioned in conservation and other things and evaluation, we can work with it. So this is my last slide. The right to decide access. See, for example, I belong to a community, and I know that these are very important. These are the let's say, heritage in my area to the country, and we are protecting it at an opportunity cost. We all could have cultivated modern soybean, maize, corn, giving ethanol or any of these things and earn a lot of money. We are not doing that one, but we are cultivating this at an opportunity cost. That means we should have a right to decide right to decide access. So that is possible only when we ensure that we are conserving them properly with the documentation, and we are also providing a procedure to access them for people. If we are not doing that, if by stopping something, people will access from elsewhere, and then you will lose the decision to making, you will lose the right to making decision to access and then benefit sharing. So my take-home message after this quick presentation is that by debarring somebody from coming into or using TVs will not help. The basic idea should be to enhance the demand for the traditional varieties, and then ensure that the existing framework of rules and regulation, how we can best make use of that one in spirit, not just in letter. Thank you very much, sir.
Sunil Garu, you didn't give us the opportunity to raise the hand. Well, very good, comprehensive ideas, many questions. And there is one question for you. Before that,
I'm expecting more questions, in fact.
Yeah, one immediately.
Yeah.
From the Shalini Bhutaniji. You know her.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I will read out for you, or if Shalini, if you are there, you can ask yourself.
Thank you very much and appreciate your presentation, Dr. Archak. But just wanting to move us forward on how the Plant Variety Authority can help to mainstream the already registered farmers' varieties and help with their multiplication and introduction in the formal seed supplies chain? Thank you.
Yes. As I think I mentioned this, I'll just repeat that one. See, we have a patent authority in India. We have a trademark authority. We have all other copyright authority. So similarly, plant variety authority by law is an IP authority. Let's remember this first. We are taking it as a dual role. PPFRA is providing a dual role because agriculture is also having in India is a lot of smallholders, families, and then socio-economic conditions. Many things are there, which is why additional responsibilities are taken by them in terms of bringing out a register, providing this protection or reward, and then etc. etc. But we have to please remember, there is only up to some extent that PPFRA can work. Whether PPFRA can see the chairperson of the Registrar General of the PPFRA has an authority to register the varieties. Registrars have the duty to register the varieties, new varieties. Now, what do they do with new varieties? It's up to the people who have got the rights, whether it is the breeders or whether it is about the farmers. Now, if the question is about the registered varieties, registered farmers varieties, so it is the registered farmers who have to work together. And then there are other organizations who are working with them. And then PPFRA is giving the space to them. For example, PPFRA organizes. I have attended a couple of them in their building here. Let's say, what is this? National Innovation Foundation. Yeah. National Innovation Foundation people had organized, bringing all these Padma awardee farmers and those who have got these certificates as to how do they now market this, mainstream this, use this opportunity, maximize this. So my clear, simple one-sentence answer to this question after this much explanation is, I do not expect PPFRA to work in the mainstreaming and then popularizing and then doing all of that. There must be other institutions and other setups to do that part. PPFRA is a law enforcing authority, IP law enforcing authority.
Yeah, thank you.
Just one question,
yeah,
sir.
Yeah. One second, sir. Shalini ji, are you satisfied?
You know my answer, Dr. Varaprasad. I will.
Yes. But Dr. Rajendra Prasad, allow me 1 minute.
Yeah.
I will actually give some supporting information what Sunil has given. This question I have raised several times with several chairpersons of the PPFRA. But the current Registrar General, both chairman and Registrar General have indicated that if there is a traditional variety which is given ownership to an individual or association or a particular institute, and if it is important and it is not in the seed supply chain, that person who got certificate is not multiplying it. So there is a provision in the PPFRA. If you don't multiply, then his license can be cancelled. It can be made public. Others can also multiply that. This provision will come into force. Exactly what Sunil Archak has told. You have to really report to the PPFRA. This traditional variety is very important for us. You have given right to so-and-so body, so-and-so person, and he is not putting that into the supply chain. We want them. So then they will take action. This is the specific answer given by the PPFRA under the existing PPFRA as it is now. If it is amended in future and something better comes, it is fine. Thank you. Rajendra Prasad, over to you.
Sir, my question is very simple, Dr. Achyut. See, other than these institutions, there are so many SAs are there, ICAR institutions are there. What is their role? How they can play an important role in promoting these TVs? That is important, no? Because we people are working at the national and
yes.
Because these traditional varieties, the local institutions play a major role in promoting them.
They do.
How we can link up these things and.
Sir, do I reserve these for the end of when questions, or shall I make use
of? Okay, whatever.
I am asking him.
Yeah,
it's very important.
There is one more question. But
yes, sir, this was one of the listed questions, sir. So let me answer this, sir. It's very important.
Yeah.
Sir, let's say when we say traditional varieties and you say that local system, it is there or etc., because it is part of the local production system and local consumption system.
Yeah.
It is not just local production systems or local consumption system also, because if a specific RRA is there, so it should be part of the local consumption also, which is there, sir. So nobody else will help them from a central somewhere in Delhi or some other. Nobody will help, sir.
See, please. Amrish ji, please mute kar do.
Sir, which is why, sir,
Yeah.
the role of the state agriculture universities is paramount. Because the state agriculture university has two things, sir. One, they have the knowledge and academic and training and capacity building part, which is there inbuilt in the university.
Okay.
They also have their stations and then people around, and they know about the information, and then they have their specific areas, language, documents, everything, sir. Means, which is why, sir, for PPFRA, registration of a farmer's variety with a PPFRA, one of the requirements, possible requirements, is a recommendation by the state SAU registrar.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's how, sir, that is very important. So this makes the entire process so formal. So there is no doubt that this is there, sir. But the last point, sir.
Yeah.
Whether all the universities are following a similar SOPs is something which is absent at this point of time.
Okay.
Which is why we need either a network or a centrally coordinated process as to how we can do that.
Yeah.
And it is here that all of us have to work together. So, sir, private, public, these, that, etc. will not work, sir. There are very few countries in the world where we have this private, public kind of things, sir. Majority of the countries do not have. They don't have. So you have to somehow manage everybody to. If you put somebody outside your house, then they will be your enemies. You bring them in your house and ask them to sit in a small room, then you can control them. So it's like that. It's up to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
It's frozen.
Now we will go to on behalf of Dr. Patil, or by maybe himself, the special seed of ignited the importance of seed at country level, and they got also good recognition. And I hope we'll be very happy to listen that how SAU's role in seed systems for TVs linking to the natural farming. Yeah, over to you, Dr. Patil, or this is...
Good evening, sir. I am on behalf of our Honorable Vice-Chancellor. I am Dr. K.S Varaprasad, working as Special Officer Seeds. So I am presenting the topic given to us, that is the role of seed system, role of SAUs in seed system for traditional varieties linking with natural farming. And first of all, I thank the organizers for giving us the opportunity to speak on this topic on the auspicious day of the International Seed Day. And the previous speakers, so they made my job easier. So they have covered most of the points what I wanted to say actually. Leela, please share my slides, please.
Yes.
Next. Okay, when in 1960s, when Green Revolution was launched with a sole purpose of ensuring the food security, wherein the high-yielding varieties were used for increasing food production, followed monocropping, and they used excessive use of the chemicals and fertilizers, with a sole motto of increasing the food production and thereby ensuring the food security. So on the contrary, these land races, so they are very unique and in demand in the farming community, and they are nutritionally rich. They perform under varied climatic regimes. So they have diversity in rainfed so rainfed crop systems, and they addresses the more challenges of the climate change. Next, please. So, what are these traditional varieties? So, they are dynamic populations with historic origin, distinct or on specific traits or area. They are unique, nutritionally rich. So, these are all what are all the land resource means. Next. So these traditional varieties, they are the strength of local food system and their livelihoods. So in majority of the rural areas, so they conserve, they grow, they eat the majority of the local varieties. So since many years, and their revival and conservation are critical for sustainable agriculture and the climatic adaptations. They are very nutritionally they are rich with a better taste and the quality. Next, please. So the present scenario of notified and traditional varieties in India. So there is the newly developed varieties. So they have definite SOPs for release, guidelines for notification, and they have the generation system for seed multiplication. And they have elaborate field and seed standards for the released and notified varieties. And these released and notified varieties, they covered under existing Seed Act for the seed production, monitoring, and certification. So on the contrary, the seed production and certification system does not exist for these traditional varieties. So always they are open source in the Indian agriculture. And cultivable traditional varieties are in common knowledge to all the majority of the farmers. So source material of these are highly scattered in the villages, and their knowledge is fragmented in the interior villages with communities and few passionate farmers. So community seed banks and the local people are able to, only a few people, they are able to maintain them. Next, please. So then what are the gaps in current policies and programs? So as said by the previous speakers, this PPV and FRA, so it has provisions and procedures to recognize the farmers' varieties in the farmers' varieties. Sorry. So on their exclusive rights of such recognized varieties rest with owners identified for commercialization. But this PPV FRA has no provision to promote or develop a seed system exclusively for these traditional varieties. So the seed village program, it mainly focuses on seed production of only the notified varieties. And majority of the government-sponsored programs like NFSM, NMOP, where seed was the main component in these programs. So they are all meant for only the notified varieties. So none of these government programs, they covers these traditional varieties. Their main focus is only on the notified varieties. So the absence of the defined and visible market mechanisms for these traditional varieties, then assurance of quality and sourcing the seed becomes extremely difficult for those farmers willing to produce and supply the traditional varieties. Next, please. Next. So when we link these the traditional varieties with the natural farming system, of course, this natural farming system, so it mainly focuses on maintaining the ecological balance and sustainability with the minimum use of the external inputs, and it mainly relies on the local resources. So these traditional varieties, they actually exactly fit into this natural farming system. So these were why they fit in with this natural farming system, because they perform well under low input conditions. They require minimum chemical interventions, enhance biodiversity, soil health, and resilience. So they have strong linkage with indigenous knowledge systems. Next, please. So there are some key gaps. These traditional varieties, they are underemphasized in natural farming. The natural farming currently focuses more on inputs like Jivamrut, Bijamrut, but for natural farming to be truly sustainable and self-reliant, it should focus more on the traditional varieties. So, in addition to these inputs like Jivamrut, Bijamrut, so it should mainly focus on the traditional varieties also. So, repositioning of seeds as the central core of natural farming. There is a gap. Then the seed must be seen as active dynamic resource, not as a passive input. Then focus should be on the climate resilient, locally adapted land traces. Next, please. So how can we strengthen this seed systems of traditional varieties? So, being the universities, so we have a strong network of research, extension, and teaching. So, our large number of scientists are working in many of the research projects. So, these scientists, researchers, so they have a good scope. So, they can work on these lines. So, they can identify, conserve, and promote the traditional varieties. They can develop context-specific seed standards, recognize genetic heterogeneity of the traditional varieties, then relax the rigid GOT norms. So normally, we have a very rigid GOT norms for all the crops in for foundation and the breeder seeds. So there should be some relaxation for the GOT norms while maintaining the physical purity. Then community-based seed system should be developed. Then seed banks and farmer-led seed selections. Then participatory plant breeding should be focused. Then there should be integration of the state agricultural universities, then NGOs and the farmers. So wherein these agricultural universities, they can engage themselves in the research and characterization of these traditional varieties. NGOs can, so they have a large, very good network of the public. So they can develop the seed networks and the knowledge sharing with the farmers, and the farmers being the custodians and innovators of these traditional varieties. So they can produce, they can engage in the seed production of these traditional varieties. Next, please. So institutional reforms and scaling strategies. So what is the role of the state agricultural universities and the government in this aspect? So integrate traditional varieties into research and curricula. So this is one of the major thing what is required now. So the researchers should focus mainly on the traditional varieties. I think as we have the All India coordinated research projects for many of the crops, so we should also have the All India coordinated research project for these traditional varieties, so that a lot of research can be focused on these traditional varieties. Then in teaching also, in during their studies, the students can be taught about these traditional varieties by making a separate curricula for traditional varieties. Then conduct participatory varietal selection and on-farm trials, like as usual for the other crops, what we do. So like that, for traditional varieties also, we can go for all these varietal selection and for on-farm trials. Then we can then generate data under natural farming conditions. Then promote decentralized farmer-led seed production. So in extension wing, so we can strengthen farmer seed networks, recognize seed saving, recognize seed saving as a legitimate practice, then promote community seed banks. So policy and institutional reforms. So separate variety release system for traditional varieties should be developed. So we have a definite variety release system for the other varieties. So likewise, a separate release system for the traditional varieties should be developed, so that a large number of traditional varieties can be identified and then can be released, and they can be made available for the farming community. So shift from uniformity to adaptability based evaluation. So in while releasing the varieties in many of the crops, so mainly we focus on uniformity. So we should focus on the adaptability based evaluation rather than their uniformity in traditional varieties. So enable population based or heterogeneous variety registration. Next, please. So these are all some of the important components of seed systems for traditional varieties: exploring and documenting, then demonstrating and selection using crop diversity blocks, multiplication and exchange through farmers groups, then popularization of traditional varieties to expand market for their produce, on-site evaluation by state agriculture universities, being then building a digital repository, then policy development and evolving protocols for releasing traditional varieties. So this already I have covered. Next, please. So challenges in the seed systems. So despite their maintenance, traditional seed systems face several problems. So loss of genetic diversity due to widespread adoption of uniform high-yielding varieties. So because of this, always there is a chances of the loss of the genetic diversity. Then limited access to quality seed of traditional varieties. So inadequate integration between formal research systems and farmer knowledge, disruptions due to climate change, disasters, and socio-economic inequalities. Then addressing these challenges requires both technological and institutional innovations. Next, please. So role of state agricultural universities. So SAUs are uniquely positioned to strengthen seed systems by integrating scientific research with farmer-led practices. So what are the key roles? So conservation and documentation. Next. So with respect to this conservation and documentation, so we from our US Dharwad, so we made some progress. So we are the part in one of the government of Karnataka ambitious project on promotion and conservation of land resources in different crops, wherein the University of Agricultural Sciences Dharwad is working on 5 crops. So the government has allotted different crops to different agricultural universities, wherein 5 crops have been allotted to work with to the US Dharwad, like sorghum, wheat, moth bean, Niger, and safflower. So we have identified some crop coordinators for these crops, and they are involved in evaluation, dust characterization of these traditional varieties. So collection, evaluation, then dust characterization of these varieties. So already majority of the evaluation and the data compilation is under progress. So the scientists are working in this aspect. Next, please. Then participatory, the role of state agricultural industries. So the second point will be the participatory plant breeding. So plant breeding can be done with the help of the farmers. So improve traditional varieties while retaining their resilience traits. So ensure varieties meet local preferences and farming conditions. So enhance farmers' participation and their ownership. Then decentralized seed production. So SAUs can promote community-based seed production systems. Then village-level seed enterprise and seed banks. So training farmers in seed production, processing, and storage techniques. So like what we do for the released and notified varieties. So we can also go for the training the farmers on their seed production, processing, and storage of the traditional varieties. Then quality assurance and seed standards. So develop some simplified and flexible quality assurance systems for traditional seeds. Promote models such as quality declared seed. Then ensure availability of reliable and high quality seed material. Then institutional innovation. So SAUs can facilitate formation of farmer producer organizations like FPOs, which mainly focuses on the seed production. Then strengthening local seed networks and cooperatives, public community partnerships in seed dissemination. Next, please. Then capacity building and extension, this is already covered. Then research and validation under natural farming. So evaluate performance of traditional varieties under natural farming conditions, develop location-specific crop packages under diversified farming systems, generate evidence on yield stability, nutrition, and resilience. Then policy support and advocacy, support policies that recognize and protect farmers' varieties, advocate for inclusion of traditional varieties in farmer seed systems, then contribute to regulatory reforms that enable decentralized seed systems. Next. So to summarize, SAUs in partnership with State Department of Agriculture can involve in collection and conservation of the traditional varieties. Then to bring the traditional varieties into mainstream of seed system, so always it is necessary to characterize these varieties according to dust guidelines of the crop. So the unique traditional varieties having specific qualities can be registered as farmers varieties at PPV and FRA, and it is already in progress. And then Government of Karnataka has launched such project in the state in partnership with all the farm universities. So specific crops are allotted to each universities, and there is a crop coordinator for each crop, as I said earlier. And SAUs have a role in playing developing guidelines for identification and release. So SAUs may help the government in formulating the procedures or guidelines to give incentives to farmers who are conserving the traditional varieties. So this is, as already told by Dr. Rajendra Prasad sir. So like in the notified varieties or released varieties, what they get incentives for seed production. Likewise, the farmers who are growing these, who are producing seeds of traditional varieties should also be given the incentives so that they can be encouraged to go for further seed production. Next, please. Thank you very much. So this is in brief about my topic.
Thank you very much for a very comprehensive presentation. And if there is any one question from anyone who is very important related to SAU's role, State Agriculture University's role, you can go ahead and speak.
We also can ask if he.
Yeah. Why not?
Because if he's going to stay there till the end, then it is okay. But if he goes off,
no, sir, I will be there till the end.
But still, you can ask. That's
question is sometimes in SAUs or in other places also, it so happens that traditional varieties are always paired with natural farming or organic farming or kind of thing. Always means whether if is there a possibility or you have other options also, or you always do this way? For example, in case of US Dharwad.
So I didn't get your point, sir.
When the universities promote traditional varieties of the local traditional varieties, the promotion is always along with the natural farming or let's say organic farming or kind of thing. Is
so
that
it is not always with natural farming, sir.
Okay.
It is not always with natural farming.
So
sometimes it is clubbed with organic farming also.
That's what, either natural or organic, but not
either natural or organic farming.
So no package of practice other than these two.
Yeah, sir. Actually, we have a separate package of practices for organic farming practices. So we are thinking of for the natural farming package of practices.
Okay. Dr. Achyut,
yes, sir.
As such, there is no specific guidelines. It should be only for the natural farming or the organic farming. See, in toto, all the traditional varieties which are popular, still some are very popular. How to make it available to the farming community? For instance, there is a Jaglu Ragi. Now we are trying. It's a huge demand. Now we are trying to push it in the RSKs to like any other varieties. So though only they are linking, this may be much more useful for the organic farming and the natural farming. Otherwise, there is no such binding on us to have those things.
So this is very important, sir. We should not lose an opportunity by binding like this.
Yeah, no, not at all.
If farmers are interested to grow traditional varieties using their practices with fertilizers, water, whatever.
Yeah.
There must be an opportunity for our agreement to this.
Sure. In fact, there are some experiments. This traditional variety perform well under the package of practices better than the number. So that data is also there for some varieties.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a very important question. We will debate more in the discussion. Thank you very much. I think, as I said earlier, the Vice-Chancellor, Honorable Vice-Chancellor of the Dharwad University has taken a lot of lead, and he collected all the state agriculture universities in Karnataka. What are the traditional varieties available in each state for all the major crops? I think, Dr. Sunil, that will be very interesting data to find the gaps. And then that may be, I request the special seed officer, if it can be shared with NBPGR, that will help them to find the gaps and collect those traditional varieties which are not in the gene bank. Okay, with this, we move to the next speaker, Mr. Soumik Banerjee. He is a very inspiring speaker. I heard him several times, and also an independent scientist with a lot of science basis, and also a good friend of the not only agroecology but also the traditional varieties. He will speak on CMSS framework evolved by synthesizing the experience. Soumik ji, over to you. Your floor.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so good evening to all the participants and dignitaries in the International Seed Day webinar. So I would request Leela to please upload the presentation. This is basically the system we are following for promoting the traditional varieties across different states in India under the RRA network. So this is the community managed seed system, and I will be briefly mentioning about it. So next slide. So this we have been already enlightened by why we need diversity because of the several reasons which have been highlighted by my previous speakers. It is very important in today's world because we already know this year is going to be one of the very strong El Nino years. Every now and then, the meteorologists across the world are warning, and we are getting different information from far away places in the Pacific that what is the situation there. So we have to be very careful about climate change, and this climate change is coming up in a big way this year. So here is where our traditional varieties are very important, not only for maintaining the abiotic stress tolerance, but also pests and diseases. And the other aspect is nutrition, that we are constantly, there are a lot of criticism about India being very malnourished and anemic and so many other nutritional problems. Again, these varieties are very rich in nutrition, and they are also having a lot of cultural usage because culture and seed conservation, traditional varieties, language, all these things are related. Moment there is a breakdown in any of these things, even a language breakdown, it translates into different practices, including seed conservation. So we need a lot of diversity for different reasons. Next slide. And then what is the value of use? So there are different values, different uses, and farmers not only look for yield. Nowadays, of course, because of too much stress on yield over the last several decades, people have become very yield and money centric. But now, still there are several farmers who are interested in so many other things, like how is the palatability, how is the texture, the flavor. I remember that in our diversity block about some 6-7 years ago when I was shifting to Madhya Pradesh from Jharkhand, some farmers came to see me off and they wanted two varieties of paddy. And those two varieties of paddy, I asked that why you want them. They said their color is very good. I was quite surprised to hear that they were so interested in the color. They didn't say yield or any other thing. So there are so many other important uses we have talked about. And if you see these varieties are all traditional varieties. They can survive a lot of water, submergence. They can grow without any irrigation. They can grow in the places with highest rainfall. They are of very good sizes. So different properties are there, and they are all traditional varieties. Next. So coming to the system, okay, before that, what is the situation of the seed industry? It is alarming because you see this is the global data, and 56% of the seeds are controlled by just 4 corporations. Who are these corporations? The Bayer, the Corteva, the Syngenta, the BASF, none of them are from India. And many of them are very infamous because Bayer and BASF were involved in World War II in developing poison gases and concentration camps. And Corteva was behind, the parent company of Corteva was behind the famous Bhopal gas tragedy. And we don't have to talk about Syngenta, which has produced a weedicide paraquat, which is no less than dead, and which has been, I think, recently banned in Telangana. So these are the kind of companies who are ruling the world of seeds. The seeds which were actually developed by the farmers are not in their hands. They have been taken over by these huge companies, and more than 50% is in their control. And these companies are bigger than countries if you look at their turnover and all these things. Next. So these are matters of various concerns why we should, like it is an emergency, we should work on seeds. So what are the steps we follow? So the steps we follow is that first we do seed mapping, and we collect a lot of information on about the different crops, different seeds, the varieties which are still available. A lot has been lost, but there is a lot which is still available. So first process is seed mapping. Then once it is mapped and the seeds are collected, some of the information is collected and validated, then we go for diversity block. So we have a system of putting a diversity block type of layout. I will share all those details. And once the crop comes up, we do characterization. So we do characterization at different stages, at vegetative stage, at reproductive stage. We try to document some of the morphological and other characters. And once the crop is readying maturity, then we do participatory varietal selection. So they are the farmers of that place, both the men and women, the old and the young, and even some local NGO people, maybe some local institutions, they join. And they join in groups and they examine the varieties, that what are these varieties, what is their character, what is the performance being shown. And based on their consensus, we try to select the varieties which are doing good, which are performing well, not only in terms of yield. In this one factor, definitely, but different other things are taken. And especially the women, they even look at how the food is cooked, what kind of, like from wheat, they try to say that, yes, this wheat, the roti is of good quality. So different things are looked at, and once those varieties are selected, then we try to identify farmers who would like to multiply them, because since the farmers are themselves telling these are good, so of course there will be a demand if that seed is available. So we try to multiply them and offer it to the farmers so that they can grow it and sell it and maybe give other farmers also. And then we also maintain seed banks. We store them in proper place where their viability and their authenticity is maintained. Next, so I will go to each of these steps in slightly more detail. So first is going to the villages, going and talking to the farmers themselves, trying to understand what they know, because their knowledge is enormous. They are encyclopedias. They may not have, many of them may not have attended school or so, but they are, each of them are walking encyclopedias. The more older the person, the bigger encyclopedia he or she is. And they tell us about those seeds. They tell us about the seeds which were there and also the seeds which are not there. So we try to document this knowledge, and we call them the seed custodians, because they are the people who have saved those seeds despite all the hardships or whatever, and they are still saving it. They are not getting any money, they don't get any incentives for it. It is something inherent in them, and they are providing valuable service to society, unrecognized and unacknowledged, and even not named. In PPBFRA, we are registering seeds in the name of individual farmers or group of farmers. But these are these huge community. Basically, seed is a common. There is no way to recognize that commonness. It is again privatized or kept in a small circle. This, I think, is the greatest drawback, in the sense that we are losing our commons not only in seed, we are losing our commons in land as well, in water as well. So the same thing is happening, which is called the tragedy of commons. Next. Then we do a trend analysis. So trend analysis, we try to ask them that for different crops in that area, what were the seed varieties that were available 30 years ago, what were available 20 years ago, what were available 10 years ago, what is available now. And we try to see the trend. And what we generally see that 30 years ago, as you can see in this picture also, that 30 years ago, look at the number of varieties they have listed and look at the situation now. It has all gone out. Where have they gone? They have disappeared. Maybe they are with NBPGR, we don't know. Whatever is left, they are still doing it. The reason is because we never appreciated those varieties. There was no one who came and said that these are wonderful varieties. We always said, oh, these desi varieties are useless. You should, shift to something else. And they did it. And then we can see the result of that. And in fact, we have awakened very late, I would say. We have already lost a lot, unless it is with NBPGR. But we don't know because we don't have any list. We cannot access. If I am a farmer in that Adivasi village in Jharkhand, from where this the picture was, I don't know what varieties are there in NBPGR. Where should I go? Whom shall I ask? I don't know anyone. I may know only the name. In the NBPGR, things are listed as accession numbers. I don't have accession numbers. Something like Assam. I remember one farmer asking me about ARC 10,025. He asked me, which variety is this? I don't know. There is no way to know what is that ARC 10,025. It must be a variety, but we don't know. Next. So then we come to the next step, which is called the seasonal calendar. There actually we draw 12 months, and then we have different land types. In Jharkhand, we have hill slopes, we have upland, we have medium upland, we have lowland, we have homesteads, we have orchards. So we ask the people which crops, which varieties are planted where, in which season, when is it sown, when is it harvested. So we try to get this information and we try to put it in a pictorial manner so that it is understandable to all. From this, we get a lot of information that when which variety is sown, harvested, in which type of land, under what conditions, and all. Next. Then we do varietal analysis. So here we are going now into the nitty-gritty of varieties. So what is the varietal name? What is the meaning of that name? Many times people cannot remember the meaning, but sometimes they do. And that meaning tells us a lot of things. And how many farmers are doing, how much area they are doing, and where are they sold, or what is the rate, and what is their uniqueness? Why are they doing it? When there are so many modern varieties, why they are still doing this variety? So they tell because of this reason or that reason. And then we do a 4-field analysis. We take a chart paper, we make a X and Y axis. On the X axis, we have the area, and on the Y axis, we have the household. Opposite. The X axis is household and Y is area. And we try to place the varieties, which varieties are done by maximum farmers in maximum area and minimum farmers minimum area. So we have 4 types of situations. And the seeds which are in the left bottom corner, they are the most vulnerable, which need conservation because they might get extinct. Very few farmers and very less area. And the seeds which are on the top right-hand corner are seeds which are very popular. They can be scaled up, multiplied, because they are already being done by a large number of farmers, and they can be scaled up. So we get the different strategies that have to be employed for different types of seeds. Next. So this is the initial exercise we do, and we do one more thing, that is the passport data. So we try to get the passport data of the varieties they have collected, and we try to document different things, what is the name, where they got it, and what is the land type, how they plant, and different things. So we have all these exercises in the first phase. Then we have already collected the material, and we are now going to set up the diversity block. So most of our diversity blocks are mainly on rice, wheat, millets, and some pulses. Maximum is rice. And I think after that it will be wheat and millets. Next. So we set up the diversity block. So here we have to look at isolation. So there are different ways of isolation, space isolation or barrier or time. We have to avoid cross-pollinating crops. In the initial period, we don't take cross-pollinating crops like maize, for example, because these are complicated. So we are just starting the work. We try to start with simple things. So we try to prefer self-pollinating. If farmers are getting interested and they have ability, then we can go for cross-pollinating also. Then we try select the proper land, and we do all these different steps to ensure that the seed is not contaminated. It is more or less we have maintaining some standard. So we set up the diversity block. Next. And we are only following organic or natural system. We don't use any type of fertilizers, any types of pesticides or weedicides in our diversity blocks. And so here we are setting up, this is especially for the rice and wheat. And so we set up the system and we have minimum 50 plants because see, we know that we have to have more number of plants. So we sometimes go up to 250 or 500, but it depends on the amount of land the farmer is ready to give. So in many places, the farmer cannot have a lot of land. So then we have to reduce our numbers because if the number of varieties are more and the land is less, we then restrict the number of plants. If we have more land, then we increase the number of plants. And then we also have to do replication. So usually we are doing 2 replication. Only sometimes we are doing 3. Again, it depends on the availability of land because all these things require land and it is not always available. And then we have also check variety. So whichever is the popular variety there, we take that and we also perform, we keep it there and we also evaluate them and that is also replicated. Next. So that way we set up the diversity block and then we look and we set them up as per their 50% flowering date. So 50% flowering when the flowers have reached 50% of the panicle. So we try to find out that date. Now, how do I know that date? For the first time, maybe we don't have the date because farmers don't usually document it. But if we are taking seeds from other diversity blocks or such conservators, then they have that data and they provide that data. If we don't have the data for the first time, we collect that data and from the next time we become very careful. So we set up time isolation because space isolation is not possible. For example, 3 meters. But if I put 3 meter isolation in paddy, I need a lot of land. People have 50 varieties, 100 varieties, 500 varieties. We cannot get that much of land to have that type of isolation. So we generally go for time isolation, which is through flowering date. And that is the way we follow. Next. And then we try to, this is how we at least maintain, first of all, a 3 feet gap. And then we also have the flowering date. And that is about 5 days, minimum 5 days we try to do. It can be more also. We also put some buffers because all the time we cannot find exact matching. So we put some buffer varieties and the buffer varieties are usually the varieties which have a very short duration or very long duration. This is how we are setting it up. And then next, yes, so this is how it looks after a period of time. This is the rice diversity block of Bhairab, who is going to speak after me in Bankura. And then we try to do the characterization. Next. So the next step is characterization. So we follow the different standards available like IBPGR or PPVFRA. They have made some standards characterization books, and we try to follow them as much as possible. The characters which are very important, and most of them are easy to do, but some are little complicated. So we try to reduce complications, and we try to select the characters which are easier to do or which are very important. So when we teach the farmers who are maintaining the diversity block, so we have several trainings. We have number of trainings. We have on-field hand-holding sessions to actually do the characterization work. and that has been mainly done for rice and for wheat and for millets and some pulses. Next. And then, yeah, these are some of the trainings going on for characterization. So there is a fellow program also, CMSS fellow. So these are people who are students. So they are from different institutes. So they come for short term. So we also train them so they can help the farmers do the characterization. Next. And then comes, so there are several rounds of characterization: vegetative phase, reproductive phase, harvest phase, then post-harvest also some grain, weight, color, and all those things. And then we have the PPS, which is the participatory varietal selection. So here we invite, as I said, women, men, different age group, and people just come and they roam around and they try to find out which are the varieties they like. Not only, I told you, not only for productivity, for different types of things. And then they evaluate, and then they rank, and then the best varieties are selected. So like this one, this Andri Lochai variety, this is from Chhattisgarh. This is selected for soft grain and non-lodging character. So the farmers did not say yield, even though the yield is also quite good for Lochai varieties, but they have selected it for these properties. Then for another variety, that is the Vishnubhog, that has been selected for its scent, for its flavor and high market value. So this type of whatever reasons they have, they do that, and they then these varieties are then offered to other interested farmers for multiplication. Next. And once they are multiplied, then a lot of other more farmers can get it, and it can be sold also. So even in multiplication, we try to follow the isolation. We do a lot of vigilance, like roguing has to be done, and a lot of care that has to be ensured, because this, after all, is not normal production of some crop, but it is basically seed production. So all these steps are taken. Next.
That's up. Another 2 minutes. Can you conclude?
Yeah, my presentation is almost over. Next.
Thank you.
Next slide. After this.
Soumik, I think there is some network glitch happened from my
Okay,
end.
I think that was the last slide. There was one more slide
I'm
after that.
trying
Okay.
again. Just give me one
Okay.
second. I'm trying again.
Okay, so basically this is the procedure we follow. I think the last slide was about seed mela and about how the seeds are made available to others in the community. So and how the seed system works.
Check. Is
Yeah,
my
there was
screen visible?
one last slide, but okay, I'm talking about that. So basically, the last slide actually integrates all the things, that how the seed bank, the seed mela, the different events, programs, cultural events also, because a lot of these, yeah, this is the one. A lot of these varieties are also worshipped. Like there are different pujas for different varieties, and they try to get the traditional variety. The hybrid variety is not worshipped. The traditional variety is worshipped. So this all these also we integrate into the system. And just like today we are celebrating International Seed Day, we also have Field Day and this type of events in the villages, in nearby villages, and we try to celebrate that variety and that seed. So that is how the community managed seed system is being operated across, I think, 10 states in India under the RRA WASSAN network. And there are several NGOs, individual seed savers, community groups who are involved in it. And it has been running for the last 2-3 years now. And we are gradually learning and making good progress in this regard. And that is how I will end our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very detailed presentation of the methodology of the CMSS with actual photographs that it can be done on the field. Thank you very much, Soumik ji. I think those who are interested in doing such work in other states, even though you're trying in 10 states, there is a possibility to take the help from the WASSAN RRAN or directly approaching Soumik ji. Thank you very much for this detailed presentation.
There were a couple of, sir, there were a couple of, I think, participants were asking the same thing. I want to
Yeah.
do this, I want to do this, what to do. So
Yeah.
you have answered that.
Correct. Very correct. And Sunilji, if you want to reflect on some comments by Soumik ji on how do I approach NBPGR, there are some questions in the comment, chat box also.
Chat box, I am answering all of them one by one. So far have come to the end. But if we can ask specifically, I heard that. How do you access? For example, he says everything is in the form of IC numbers, not in the form of names.
Right.
That's not correct. Wherever names are there, names are there.
Yeah.
I think this is not the platform to demonstrate or show those things. But
Yeah.
I am really will be very, let's say, happy, not just happy. I'll be thankful to him if he can just approach, we can have one-to-one or including WASSAN or some people on demonstration. Or next time WASSAN or may arrange a small demonstration of how people can access information from NBPGR databases and what are all the procedures. So that
Perfect. That's good. Good. I think that's required. Many of the farmers also have that doubt. But there are many ways which Sunil can really demonstrate that from your location, from your state, on that crop, what has been collected before, maybe with name, without name, do you want to check it? All these things are possible. And that Sunil Archak has facilitated this actually by supplying the seeds to the farmer organizations in Karnataka. It was, it's now continuing this process. He's offering that. Thank you very much. Now we have the last speaker of the day, Bhairab Saini. He is a practical ground level worker from West Bengal, attends most of the seed meetings and very enthusiastic person. Bhairab, over to you. Thank you.
सभी को नमस्कार। मैं वेस्ट बंगाल से हूँ। मैं एक किसान हूँ। मैं लगभग 2010 साल से सीड कंजर्वेशन का काम कर रहा हूँ। हमारा पास लगभग 600 वैरायटी है। जैसा धान का कुछ वैरायटी है 380 जैसा।
आपका नाम क्या बताया? I'm sorry, आपका नाम क्या बताया?
मेरा नाम भैरव साइनी।
अच्छा, ठीक।
तो मेरा पास राइस का 380 किस्म का वैरायटी है, गेहूं का 50, बार्ली मेरा पास 9 वैरायटी है और मास्टर्ड है 40 वैरायटी, मिलेट्स 34, पल्सेस भी कुछ है, फ्लेक्सीड है और कॉटन भी है मेरे पास। ये सारे मैं 2010 साल से कंजर्वेशन कर रहा हूँ, उसका कैरेक्टराइजेशन भी कर रहा हूँ। हमारा कुछ पब्लिकेशन भी है, मिलेट्स, कॉटन और राइस के ऊपर कुछ पब्लिकेशन है। हम लोग ये काम लगभग 16-17 साल से कर रहा हूँ हमारा क्षेत्र में। तो ये जो हम लोग कर रहा हूँ ये सारे ट्रेडिशनल वैरायटीज है, देसी वैरायटी जिसको बोलता है, और हम लोग ऑर्गेनिकली ग्रोन करता हूँ, कोई केमिकल नहीं डालता हूँ। तो हम लोग देखा कि जो जितना सारे ट्रेडिशनल वैरायटी है ये 16-17 साल से बहुत सारे क्लाइमेटिक चेंजेस देखा, लेकिन उसमें थोड़ा बहुत असर पड़ा, कुछ डैमेज भी हुआ, लेकिन इतना डैमेज नहीं हुआ कि पूरा सीड लॉस हो गया, ऐसा नहीं हुआ। ऐसा हम लोग देखा जो मॉडर्न वैरायटी है हमारा गांव में जो दूसरा फार्मर लगाया है, उसमें से बहुत सारे वैरायटी है, कुछ क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशन में वो पूरा क्रॉप फेलियर हो गया। जैसा ये 2-3 साल पहले कुछ ऐसा कैलामिटी आया था कि बहुत लेट बारिश हुआ था और लास्ट में पानी नहीं आया, बरसात नहीं हुआ, उसी चलते, और ठंड भी बहुत लेट में आ गया, इसलिए उसका फ्लावरिंग भी नहीं हुआ। ऐसा कुछ वैरायटी, ऐसा मॉडर्न वैरायटी है। लेकिन हमारा जो ट्रेडिशनल वैरायटी है उसमें ऐसा हम लोग देखा नहीं कि जीरो हो गया, प्रोडक्शन नहीं हुआ, ऐसा देखा नहीं हम लोग। हमारा जो एक्सपीरियंस है 16-17 साल की, इतना सारे सीड लेके, और बहुत सारे सीड हम लोग ऐसा देखा कि कुछ साल पेस्ट अटैक बहुत ज़्यादा होता है कुछ वैरायटी में, लेकिन कुछ वैरायटी में एक ही साथ हम लोग मान लीजिए 100 वैरायटी कर रहा हूँ एक ही फील्ड में, लेकिन 5-6 वैरायटी में बहुत सारे पेस्ट अटैक हो रहा है, लेकिन अदर्स वेराइटीज में कुछ नहीं हो रहा है। तो ये हमारा जो ट्रेडिशनल वेराइटीज है, ये हमारा जो एक्सपीरियंस है, तो ये हम लोग का बहुत जरूरी है इसको फॉर्मल सीड सिस्टम में ले आना। लेकिन ये जो फॉर्मल सीड सिस्टम है और इनफॉर्मल सीड सिस्टम है, इसमें बहुत दिक्कत भी है फॉर्मल सीड सिस्टम में लाने से। क्योंकि जब आपका जो आलोचना हुआ, ये मैंने सुना कि जो एनबीपीजीआर सीड बैंक है, उसमें हम लोग सीड, हमारा सीड रखूंगा तो ये बहुत मुश्किल है, लाना बहुत मुश्किल है, क्योंकि कोई फार्मर उसको एक्सेस नहीं मिलता है उनको। मैं एक और एक्सेस मिलने से भी बहुत सारे चेंजेस भी हो जाता है एनबीपीजीआर में रखने से। जैसा हम कुछ साल पहले, हमारा जो मेरा पिताजी को मैं पूछा कि हमारा क्षेत्र में कौन सा अच्छा वैरायटी है, आप बताइए। तो मेरा पिताजी और मेरा माताजी 10 वैरायटी का नाम बताया। तो वो 10 वैरायटी में एनबीपीजीआर में चिट्ठी लिख के मिल गया। लेकिन मिलने का बाद देखा कि जो कुछ वैरायटी है जो मूढ़ी के लिए और खोई के लिए बहुत अच्छा होता था तब, लेकिन एनजीपीआर में मिलने का बाद तो ये जो ग्रेन है, ग्रेन देख के हमारा पिताजी इसको आइडेंटिफाई किया, हाँ ये सही है। लेकिन उसका जो कैरेक्टर, वो मूढ़ी बनाने का और खोई बनाने का, उसको कैरेक्टर लॉस हो गया। तो ये जो जब हम लोग एनबीपीजीए में रख दूंगा हमारा सीड, तो उसका कैरेक्टर क्या होगा, वो 10 साल बाद वो परफॉर्म करेगा कि नहीं, ये नॉलेज हमारा नहीं है। और जो नॉलेज आ रहा है, जो एक्सपीरियंस आ रहा है, वो भी बोल रहा है कि वो सही नहीं है। लेकिन जब हम लोग इन सीटू कंजर्वेशन करूंगा, हमारा फील्ड में इसको कंजर्वेशन करूंगा, तो वो हर साल ग्रो करूंगा, तब क्या होगा, उसका जो कैरेक्टर है वो सही रहेगा। और सही तरीके से जब रहेगा तो हमारा जो फसल का नुकसान भी नहीं होगा, और उसका जो न्यूट्रिशन वैल्यू अच्छा रहेगा, सब कुछ अच्छा रहेगा। लेकिन जब मैं कहाँ पे 10 साल 15 साल रख दूंगा, और 10-15 साल का बाद जब क्लाइमेटिक चेंज, बहुत सारे कुछ चेंजेस हो जाएगा, वो जूझेगा नहीं क्लाइमेट के साथ, तो उसका बहुत सारे कैरेक्टर नुकसान भी हो सकता है। तो हम लोग को इसलिए हमारा डिमांड है कि जो हमारा क्या बोलता है, जो कम्युनिटी सीड बैंक का जरूरी है, क्योंकि वो सीड बैंक से इजी एक्सेस होता है फार्मर का। और जो गवर्नमेंट सीड बैंक है, उसमें इजी एक्सेस नहीं होता है, उसको बहुत सारे डिफिकल्टीज है। तो ये जो बहुत सारे आलोचना मैंने सुना, और सुनने के बाद मुझे ये मन में आया कि ये जो जब सीड हमारा कमोडिटी बन गया, जब से सीड हमारा कमोडिटी बन गया, तब से ये सीड एक्ट, सीड टीटी, ये सारे गवर्नमेंट बना रहा है। और जब सीड कमोडिटी नहीं था, तब सीड एक्ट का भी जरूरत नहीं था, और इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी एक्ट का भी जरूरत नहीं था, और सीड टीटी का भी जरूरत नहीं था। जब से ये कमोडिटी बन गया, तब से ये सारे चीज आ गया। क्योंकि ये सीड सीड का ऊपर कुछ एमएनसीज को, गवर्नमेंट्स को ये कंट्रोल लाने के लिए ये सारे चीज अपनाना पड़ रहा है। और ये जब सीड कमोडिटी बन जाएगा, तब हमारा नुकसान भी होगा, क्योंकि हमारा कोई चॉइस नहीं रहेगा। जो सीड कंपनी बनाएगा वही हम लोग को ग्रो करना होगा, क्योंकि हमारा पास सीड नहीं रहेगा। जब फॉर्मल सीड सिस्टम में तो ट्रेडिशनल सीड ज़्यादातर नहीं है, बहुत सारे लॉस हो गया हमारा। इनफॉर्मल सीड सिस्टम में कुछ कुछ बचा हुआ है, इसको ही बचाना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो फॉर्मल सीड सिस्टम में जाके हम लोग पूरा लॉस हो जाएगा। तो हमारा जो चॉइस, जो सीड का जो सॉयल माइक्रोब्स, न्यूट्रिशन, ये सारे खत्म हो जाएगा। और हम लोग सिर्फ कंपनी के ऊपर डिपेंड करूंगा, हमारा फार्मर का फ्रीडम भी नहीं रहेगा। जैसा बहुत सारे डिफरेंस क्लाइमेटिक जोन में ये जो सीड, जो हमारा गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट नहीं बना, तो अब हमारा पास कितना सारे सीड था, लाखों सीड था। लेकिन जब से इंस्टीट्यूट बन गया, जब से कंपनी बन गया, सीड कंपनी बन गया, तो ये बहुत क्या है, बहुत सारे सीड नुकसान हो गया, और बहुत कम भी हो गया, डाइवर्सिटी भी कम हो गया। तो इसलिए हम लोग चाहता हूँ कि हमारा खुद का सीड बैंक रहेगा और एक्सी2 सीड बैंक रहेगा, इन-सीटू सीड बैंक रहेगा। वहाँ पे स्थानीय उपचार से स्थानीय सीड लेके फार्मर काम करेगा, उनका सॉइल भी अच्छा रहेगा, न्यूट्रिशन भी अच्छा रहेगा। तो बहुत लॉन्ग ये डिस्कशन चल रहा है। मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि ज़्यादा नहीं भी बताऊँगा। मैं सोचता हूँ कि हमारा देसी सीड अच्छा से हम लोग कम्युनिटी सीड बैंक बना के रख रखाव कर पाऊंगा, ये आशा रख के मैं समाप्त करता हूँ। थैंक यू, धन्यवाद।
Thank you. Bhairab ji, you made very good points, very well done. And then importance of community seed banks and in-situ conservation. So, jaha, theoretically we cannot do for everything, but based on the practical need, it can be done. But you gave a good example. You got the variety from NBPGR. It is recognized. It is the same. Some characters are lost. That is a different story. But these institutions are helping a lot in conserving, particularly from the NBPGR, so that those who can visualize, they can really access it and use it. It has happened with many farmer, with few examples of farmer organizations. And please see the chat box. All of you, I request, please see, very interesting conversations happen. That's of common interest to many people. And I thank each one of you for making the comments in the chat box. It's very useful, very educative, and some questions which cannot be answered also are there, or which give some future direction are also there. Please look at them carefully. Now the topic, the entire topic is open for discussion, and those who have not received reply in the chat box, they get the priority, and you can start asking questions. It's open now. It's an open forum. And I am also grateful actually to all the speakers. They have done such a wonderful job, each one of you. And then you are all a treasure house of knowledge, and with a alignment to promote the traditional varieties and natural biodiversity in the country. So all of you have that alignment, and I hope this is very useful to all of you. Any questions? Unless there is difficult to see.
Sir, till somebody comes up with a hand, may I just make a couple of comments, sir?
Please go ahead, Sunilji. Yeah.
So in the chat box as well as in our conversations, I am trying to be not saying yes to everything, because if all of us say yes, this is important, this is what government should do, this is what, etc., nothing will happen. So somebody should be in the other side to say that what is not correct, what is correct, or what is maybe reasonable. Correct, incorrect is not there. Number one, sir, whenever it comes to seeds, germplasm seed, we all get to become emotional. Okay, sir. So, but when we need to devise a program, build projects, get some funds, implement, do things, only emotion doesn't work, sir. We have to be very practical.
Yes.
We have to be practical. Suddenly we say that, oh, seed companies are doing this one, multinational companies are doing this one. Please remember, all the breeders in India are our own children of our people only. They have not come from Mars. They have not come from Moon. They're all our people. Okay. I'll give an example, sir. Let us say just now a dear friend, the farmer who has received 2 rice varieties. Let us say in one of these farmers, sir, one young boy has been working there for 10 years, conserving, using, synthesizing, doing whatever, everything. And then he, because of his ability, he joins now the, let's say, private seed company. Will he lose his rights over the material which he has generated or conserved or not? Think about this, please. Let us not be emotional all the time. See, there are very challenging questions in ensuring what happens when rules have to be applied. The previous speaker, the farmer, made very important points. See, as long as everything was free, no commercial activity is there, things are fine, sir. The moment you start earning money, it becomes very difficult. So this is my first point. The second point is, sir, earlier we had one meeting here in under the Diversity Farm here in Delhi. I have shared a link of diversity farmed CSBs on the chat box. I request all of you to please look at that. What kind of work people are doing, funded from outside the country, isn't it? When India, we don't have any dearth of money, but somebody has to fund from outside the country to make a map of CSBs in India. That's the first point. In that, sir, all the FPOs kind of people who are available there, CSBs there, sir, one important point came up there. Number one, they all started from conservation, documentation, everything, then purified because they have to get into value chain. So they purified, made it from a actual land race into a more or less a variety. Now everybody is worried about marketing that one. So everybody from the original context of conservation and then TV, traditional variety, they have all come as a small seed company now. Because to become successful seed bank or FPO in the value chain, everybody has to become, there is no other way to become small companies. So let us try to understand how do we work together in a network mode or what can be done, etc. So the second point. And the last point is about the presentation which was made by Soumik, I think, yes. Correct? Am I taking the correct name? His name is
yes. Soumik Banerjee.
Soumik,
correct.
Yeah. That's excellent. So if you recall, sir, totally how many that work is on rice. So totally how many land races are there in rice in India in our gene bank? We took them out in 2000 post-COVID. We took them out. So first when we grew them, it was full of mixtures. What do you expect? Land races and this one, they will all be full of mixtures only. Then who will purify it, sir? You have collected it from Chhattisgarh. So the Chhattisgarh farmer is not there in NBPGR. So who will purify? Who will take out and who will decide, okay, we will keep these, we will discard these. Who will do that? So it is challenging. Then after we did that, sir, we have a list and then set of all those varieties, all those traditional rice are available. Now, to whom we will give? Let us say somebody comes up as a farmer, but he's actually a representative of a seed company. We should be careful. Somebody was saying that it is not easy to get seed from NBPGR. Tomorrow, if I give your seed to somebody to make it easy, then you will say that, okay, my seeds are just given away to the seed company. We are careful. We are representing government of India, so we are very careful. So which is why we are careful. Otherwise, we are ready, sir. I am telling again here, nobody asked this question. To farmers, we don't need to sign material transfer agreement. Please note down, if this is being recorded also. Farmers need not sign material transfer agreement because we are giving material which belongs to farmers. Number two, what is the easiest method? Let us say if a farmer is belonging to a village or a place in Chhattisgarh, and he or she or their team demands that, these are the list of 15, 20 TVs of rice belonging to this area which we don't have. Give it to us. We will give. But if they say that I want traditional cultivars from Kerala, we will not give. Giving that one will take another step. Not that I am saying that is closed. No, that is not closed. But it will take another step. Because we want that all the traditional cultivars which are present here should go to different farmers, whoever is ready. Something which is belonging to, let us say, Bundelkhand area, sir. Now, because of this sustained drought there, famine there, climate problems there, nobody is doing any work. So some other farmers doing elsewhere is welcome to do that, which is what I'm telling. But first point is that it is not easy. You want that you just come into NBPGR and then say, give us these seeds and we give it to them. No, we are not keeping it in cupboards. We are keeping it in -20. It's a procedure. So we are ready. We want that people should take seeds. We want. Otherwise, why are we sitting here taking salaries? We want that it should be taken. But as I mentioned, no MTA, no money, no fees, free of cost. We will just send it to them. It's only that we have to confirm that this is the genuine people who are actually doing. Let's say the person who is conserving 600 himself. Why not we will give him 100 more? We will be very happy to do that. That is the point, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sunilji. Sushanta, you raised a hand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. Partially answer I already got from Sunil sir, but still, what Sunil sir is said that there is certain accessions are there which in NBPGR which could not named when it was collected earlier days. So how could we means what are the procedure we can again regenerate, and we can have some name from those areas, discussing with the people, so that it is a valuable genetic resource, we can again revive it.
Shall I answer, sir?
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Please.
Two sentences. Sir, let us say if we have seeds in our hand and I do not know about the traits of the seeds, there is a method to get the information on traits of the seeds. I can grow them in different agroecologies and find out what are the traits. I can go consult the experts, farmers, look at these, so I can get the traits. But the passport data, that means the information about that one, I cannot generate. We cannot generate. It is very difficult. If whatever was there is there, we cannot add name to that. So the alternative to that is, if you all recognize that, look, these are the areas where our representations from this TVs is not there in NBPGR. That's an excellent information to our work. People will carry out exploration and collection and then do all possible things to get that material into gene bank. So that is the only way. We cannot add names where it is not there. So that's a handicap we have.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So I think, Shushanta, you know that we had a long discussions on this particular point. What is mixture and what is actually integral part of a traditional variety?
Yes.
With variation. So, what we depend is that if that is coming from a particular area and the ownership is claimed by the communities, their claim of traits is taken as a integral mixture of, it's not a mixture, boundaries of that variety are fixed in consultation with the community which has been growing that particular variety. So that's what finally, if any variety is coming to the stage of mainstreaming, that's the place where we try to put the boundaries for that variety in consultation with the communities from where it is originated and from where it is still cultivated. That's still a possibility which you have been trying. Then regarding the seed supply chain, there is a question. Please contact Shushanta or Dr. Rajendra Prasad. For the mainstreamed varieties, we have come up with a alternative seed supply chain, not talking them as a breeder seed, nucleus seed, foundation seed. We are calling differently, but there is a method already tried in Odisha where the seed is being multiplied by the OEAT in its seed forms, following those guidelines. That right. You can take it. But I am so happy that it has come to a lot of questions, but every good thing has to somewhere end. My target was 5:30. Now the 5:30 is also crossed. So 4 minutes. But if unless somebody...
Sir, if whenever people are asking questions, sir, that where do we get seeds or etc.
Yeah.
You just mentioned, sir, contact. Whom to the contact. For example, WASSAN or this organization, they should contact, number one.
Correct.
Number two, then they will ask, if you are not very well versed, then they will train you, and they will also ask you, do you want to become a seed producer?
Correct.
So we are not just interested in seed cultivators, sir. We need seed producers also.
Correct. So, Bishwaji, please go ahead. Please ask the question. Bishwa. Can you unmute? Bishwa Shankar. Are you there, Bishwa? You raised hand and you are allowed now to question. Put the question before the committee. I think he has difficulty in unmuting himself. You can put the question in the chat box also if you have difficulty in speaking audio. Okay. Now, any other last question? If Bishwa will get the priority whenever he can unmute. Any other last question?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Not answer, question, sir.
Please.
Sir, do we have a list of traditional varieties in, let us say, few crops, select crops, which you can recommend, because you're all experts, you have been experts, you're experts, sir, for regenerative farming? Sir, I'm saying not as a, when I ask and then you give me a list. What is happening, sir? I'll give you the context. Sir, in BRICS, India is proposing a separate vertical on regenerative farming. So India wants to take regenerative farming to the world. Look, this is what is important. Sustainable farming time is done because we do not have sufficient areas where you can sustain. That's all gone, degraded. So you want to do something regenerative. So there, my request is, if there are no documents, if there are documents, I need a reference. And if there are no documents, or anybody, NGOs, any organizations, university, anybody can come up with a document that, look, these are the set of varieties which we recommend for regenerative farming, is sufficient for our official work, sir.
Yeah, we have the best example again from Dharwad only. Dharwad has taken the list of the traditional varieties that are popular, can be recommended without chemicals cultivation. List has been made. Dr. Patil has that list for each university for major crops. It is there. That's why I requested them that to share with you. That makes sense. And if we will connect you also, Dr. Sunil Archak, our RRA network. I think Leela or somebody will connect you. That information, what they have done is wonderful. It is useful also.
Some published
each
forms,
university has given.
Some published forms, sir?
No. I think we have made district-wise, and the location-wise, the list of traditional varieties. Again, we would like to identify the best traditional variety, 1 or 2 for that locations, and that should go as a recommendation for further multiplication and popularization conservation. This is what going on, but I don't know.
We'll connect you, Dr. Sunil. That's a good exercise they have done. I have seen that presentation. Yeah, Bishwa, I think now you are able to unmute. Go ahead.
Sir, our molecular markers are important for TVs to know the trait specific character? Yes or no, sir?
Sunil is the right person.
No. Answer is no.
Yes, sir.
They are not inevitable. Nothing is inevitable. They are not required. See, ultimately, you are telling that we don't need dust characters. We need only 5-6 characters, important characters. Then why do you want to go to expensive molecular markers?
Sir, thank you, sir.
But if there is a question, for example, somebody has taken unauthorized way your traditional variety.
And legal disputes comes, I think we can go for that.
But for that, we have to prepare ourselves in advance and develop some kind of things.
Sir, my second question is, sir, is only one trial is enough to release some varieties like conservation? Conservation is the most important trial. My question is conservation is enough trial? Is enough to release one variety in informal seed system, sir?
Are you from Odisha? Which place?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please read the standard operating procedures given where multi-location, multi-year, there are choices where a large number of farmers are growing, you have the data, then even 1 year data would be sufficient. Suppose 500 farmers growing the traditional variety across different places, even that is enough. Please read that SOPs and come back. We will have a discussion.
Right? Sir. Right. Okay.
And now all of you kindly see in the chat box, they have given a mail ID, seeds@rainfedindia.org. Any query on this related to seed, you can put to this and that will be answered by the RRA network. And now I have come to the end of moderation, already crossed the time so much. I thank you very much. It's a very interesting. And I also request the organizers to comprehend all the chat box communication. There are important suggestions made by Shalini ji. I think there are some points where we can take it forward. Others also have made very important observations. Soumik and others have asked for a demo from the NBPGR. I think that will be organized. And I stop here. Thanks everyone. A good representation from different communities, different states happened. I hand over to Savyaji or Leela, whosoever is available, to make the final remarks and close the webinar. Thank you very much. It's a wonderful International Seed Day celebration. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So I'm Sumedha from RRA Network. So I'm giving the vote of thanks because Leela started. So I thought, why not to end the session with this? So on behalf of the organization like RRA and WASSAN both, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all the esteemed panelists like Dr. Rajendra Prasad sir, Dr. Bhairab Prasad sir, Dr. Sunil Archak sir, Professor Patil sir, and also Dr. Shashidhar. And along with that, Soumik Da and Bhairab Da. It was amazing and great webinar. I mean, I learned a lot of things today, new things. And a special thanks to Varaprasad sir to moderate the session and effectively guiding the session. You know, it's very important. So yes, and also the participants who joined and from different places I can see. And yes, sir, I have given the, you know, I have taken the email IDs, whoever has provided. I'll send the PPTs with all of your approval and permission. If you allow, then I can share the PPT showed in the session today with everyone. And yes, and one more thing, we have recorded the session, so we'll be uploading this session on YouTube, and with the link we'll be creating a post and on the LinkedIn. So yes, everyone can go and watch it how many times you want. And also we are conducting a series of master classes and webinar. So yes, if you are on LinkedIn and Instagram, do follow us so that you get the notifications. Yeah. So yes, sir, thank you so much. I would ask Leela if she wants to add anything. Otherwise, yeah, we can end it here.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you very much for the panelists.
Thank you so much.
Thank
sir.
you very much to all the
Very
participants.
wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.